What's up guys, Pete here and welcome back to the show. Today we're going to be reviewing a new lighter, something a little bit different than your standard fare gas station Bic lighter. Some of you might already recognize this, others may not. This is a USB rechargeable electric arc lighter. So that is what's going to be doing all of your burning, that little electric spark going across there, a couple millimeters wide. Now this is admittedly a bit of a novelty, but it has some legitimately cool features that I'll get into in a moment. First off, this is from a company called EnjiPrime. It's one of, probably 24 different companies. So, you really do have a lot of variety there. There's probably a couple hundred different styles of cases. Most of them are this relatively standard, Zippo flip top style. You do get a little variety in the actual arc itself, in that some are single arcs, like this one is, where you just have that singular arc. Others will be a double arc in a cross pattern. You've probably seen those as well. Look a little bit cooler. Don't know if they actually work any better. But you do have a little variety in there. Now, like I said, this is USB rechargeable, so there's a small LiPo in here, and there is a battery on the bottom, as you can see. There is a charge port down here, USB, micro USB, I believe. There's a small little LED here that indicates when it is charging and when it is fully charged. I've charged this thing once, and I've been using it on and off for, almost 2 weeks now and haven't had an issue, but I don't use it too regularly, so I really can't comment on the battery life just yet. Now, I paid about $15 for this lighter. It was on some kind of promotion on Amazon, and I picked it specifically because it was a cheaper model. I'm guessing not many people like this kind of fleur-de-lis pattern, but whatever. I just picked it up because I wanted to try it and see if I liked it, and also because I'm a bit of a tinkerer, so I might, break this down and just use that little spark gap for something else. I'm not really sure yet. But point is, I got it for cheap, about $15. They run anywhere from, the $15, $16 range up to the $30, $40, $50 range, depending on the style and who makes it and how nice and fancy the case is. They're all virtually the same, though. They all work almost exactly the same. They all have a LiPo battery and a micro USB charger. They'll all light things on fire just about at the same speed, so it really is an aesthetic choice. And I guess a longevity thing as well. If you get better quality, maybe it'll last you longer, maybe it'll be more impact resistant, things like that. Now, I will say this is kind of a gimmicky thing, but there are some legitimate benefits of it. The main one being that you charge this with just, normal electricity. There's no butane, there's no Zippo fuel, nothing like that. The huge benefit of that is that almost everyone has some device, whether it's your phone or what have you, that needs to be charged over USB. So you already have the infrastructure, the charging equipment to do that. Now, this particular one came with this rather small, kind of basic, generic USB, micro USB charger. Charging cable. It does not come with a charger, but I'm assuming you have your laptop or your computer to plug into. It is kind of small. It's only, maybe 6 inches in total length. But that being said, you really don't need much more than that. It also came, because it was part of a promotional deal, it came with this little money clip that I will literally never use, so this is just a waste of space for me, but it does come with that. Again, that's probably going to change once the promotion ends, but so be it. So that's what it came with, but you can use any micro USB charging cable that you might have lying around. It'll work just fine. Now, why do I think this is going to be a nice little addition to my everyday carry? Because it is slowly becoming a part of that. Primarily because I also have this, which is a massive battery bank. But I'm carrying this around anyway. This, massive bank can charge my phone probably 8 times. But it can also be used to charge my lighter now. And that's something really unique that you can't normally do. If you wanted to carry around Zippo fuel or butane, you can do that. But that's a unitasker kind of thing. You're only going to use that to recharge your lighter, and it's going to take up space specifically for that. Whereas now, if I carry a battery bank, it has a myriad of uses, including allowing me to have instant access to fire, pretty much on command. Now, do I think this will replace my standard lighter, which at the moment is the Scorch Torch Triple Flame Jet Lighter? Probably not. It's a very small area that you have for the arc, though I will say you can kind of blow on it to extend the arc. But again, it's still kind of gimmicky. It works, but not terribly well. It's more for the cool factor as like a fun little gadget to have. So it probably won't completely replace your lighter or mine, but it's also nice to just have on you, in case of emergencies, tucked away somewhere. It should hold the charge for a fair amount of time. It doesn't contain any flammable gases, which is another cool feature. If you do have a Zippo lighter lying around or something like this that takes butane, you do kind of run the risk of it being damaged or punctured and then having flammable gas or flammable liquid leak out. That can be a bit of a problem. This does, however, contain a LiPo battery, which, they're their own issue as far as fire safety is concerned. However, they're still, in my opinion, safer than carrying around a small canister of butane in your backpack. Another slight issue that I do see with this, however, is that in this particular case, the button to activate is on the front plate here. And it is very easy to depress. It's not very inset into the case at all, so pretty much anything in your pocket can bump into that and activate it. Assuming this cap stays on, not really a problem. It should never be able to ground to the housing to, shock yourself. But if it did, that wouldn't be very pleasant. And additionally, maybe this does flick open, and then maybe something does press it. That could theoretically start a small fire in your pocket, probably not something you want to have happen. And lastly, the biggest issue here is that the USB charging port at the bottom is completely exposed. There's no cover. Generally, you'll have like a little rubber gasket or cover that can flip on and close it in some cases. That would be a huge addition here because this is something you will be carrying in your pocket, and if you do get pocket lint or dirt or dust or a key goes in there the wrong way, you can permanently damage that charging port, and then this is basically bricked. As soon as you use up whatever charge is left in the LiPo, you're done. That's all you're getting out of it. So I would like to see some kind of cover for this. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, but something there just to keep the dust and dirt and grime out would also be nice. And the last kind of con that I can really think of is that this is a small taser, so okay, maybe con for some, pro for others. If you shock yourself, it hurts a lot. It's not as powerful as a real taser, but it's not pleasant. I do have a couple of friends who own these who they'll be trying to light something, their finger will get too close, and they'll basically electrocute themselves. Now, anyone who's ever burnt themselves with a lighter knows that, yeah, you can hurt yourself with a normal lighter too. But this is kind of a different kind of hurt. Anyone who's ever been electrocuted knows it's not fun, and in my opinion, it's substantially less fun than just being burnt by a normal lighter. So there's a little bit of a safety factor there. I wouldn't consider it crazy dangerous, but it does kind of limit what you can use this on, because if you were to use this on metal and you were holding that metal, there's a small chance that you could get a bit of a shock from that as well. So just be careful with what you're using this on. But overall, admitting that it is slightly gimmicky and that it isn't, a total replacement for what's already in my kit, I think that it's a nice addition to it. It's definitely something I'm going to keep using and try and get more use out of, try and find more usage examples for it, so that it kind of, finds its way into my EDC a little more regularly. That being said, I'm not going to use it for everything, but it's nice to have. So, maybe check it out for yourself. I'll put a link down in the description to the one I got and to a couple other models that are maybe a little bit nicer looking. But it definitely doesn't hurt to check them out and just see if it's something you'd be interested in. But that pretty much covers everything I wanted to talk about for the EnjiPrime electric arc lighter. Cool little piece of kit, not the greatest, but definitely a fun little thing to have and to show off to your friends. So as always, guys, thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below if you have any questions regarding this or any other piece of gear or just general questions you'd like me to answer. And as always, guys, keep your edges sharp and your mind sharper, and I'll see you in the next one.